Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight 8.4.0 PTP patch notes. I don't know anything about this, really. Shout out to Orange for telling me that this was even happening. I don't know if I would have known otherwise, so yeah, let's jump into this. Yada yada yada. It's content, new killer, the Houndmaster. Killer power, scent of blood. The Houndmaster and her dog operate as one. Her commands are followed without question or delay. Special ability, chase. The chase command sends the dog out at high speeds. Pressing the power button again redirects the chase, pivoting the dog's path. When the dog catches a survivor, the dog starts a grab. The survivor becomes hindered and is pulled toward the Houndmaster. The survivor can get free by stunning the dog or can be rescued by another survivor. Grabs that end without injury leave the survivor hindered. Grab duration is shorter for survivors with the endurance status effect. Special ability, search. The search command sends the dog to a target location, creating a search path. It has its own lullaby, and as it moves, its Hound sense radius rises over distance traveled. I don't really know what that means. Survivors who enter the radius are affected by a hound sense and revealed by killer instinct. The Houndmaster follows the dog's secret search path. She gains increased movement speed over time, leaving the search path ends the bonus movement speed. Special effect, Hound Sense. Healthy survivors affected by Hound Sense receive deep wound when injured. Injured survivors affected by Hound Sense suffer from louder grunts of pain and longer pools of blood when put into the dying state. New killer perks, All Shaking Thunder. After you fall from a height, your lunge attack distance is increased by 75. It's just always 75%. Okay, for 8, 12, 16 seconds. This perk has a 5-second cooldown for all 3 rarities. Scourge Hook, Jagged Compass. At the start of the trial, if the 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks, you see their aura in white. When a survivor is unhooked from a non-Scourge Hook, it becomes a Scourge Hook. When you hook a survivor on a Scourge Hook, the aura of the generator with the most progress is revealed in yellow for 6, 8, 10 seconds. No quarter. When a survivor reaches 75% of a self heal, they are faced with continuous skill checks. If one of these skill checks is missed or the heal is interrupted, the survivor becomes broken for 20, 25, 30 seconds. New survivor, Terry Kane. New survivor perks. We got our second invocation perk. That's cool. Invocation, Treacherous Crows. When in the basement near the circle, press the ability button 2 to begin invocation. Invocations take 60 seconds. Other survivors will see your aura during this and can join an ongoing interaction. Once the invocation is completed, you become injured and broken for the rest of the trial. Why do all of them suck? Why do all the invocations just... You get fucked over when you use this perk, because now you're one-shotable for the whole trial. It's like, cool, great, awesome. Now I don't want to use these perks. Great. When a survivor is in the tear radius and the killer scares a crow, their aura is revealed to all survivors for 1.52 seconds. Completing the invocation disables the perk for all survivors. I'm going to be honest, this perk sounds like ass. Invocation, Treacherous Crows, is probably my least favorite out of the 2 so far. Like, I already am not the biggest fan of Wicked Spiders because, like, sure, it helps out with gens, but that drawback is so big. This is a giant drawback for basically no reward because you're already in chase and you need a very specific thing to happen to trigger it. The effect is super short, and I don't think that effect is useful at all. Like, there's really... I guess unless if you're, like, playing with other people, but, like, most of the matches I played, this perk would just be a waste because, just kind of how, because, I rarely get matched with players who would like do something in this situation. So this perk sucks. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like this is my least favorite of the invocation perks so far. Obviously, you know the PTB is ongoing, so we'll see how the perk gets affected. I'm praying that they like completely change the perk, or I feel like you like I feel like they should just change the reward or give like more benefits to using the perk, because that's like basically no reward for such a massive like drawback. It just doesn't make sense to me. Clean break after you finish healing another survivor while being healed by another survivor. Press the ability button 1 to gain broken. After it's 80, 70, 60 seconds, you become healthy. This perk does not activate if you're already broken. This effect to cancel if you're gonna die. I don't really get this perk either. I get that it's like when you finish healing someone, healing another survivor, and as someone is healing you, you can, if you press the button, you gain. I don't really get this perk. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this character's perk so far, and I don't even understand the clean break really. I don't know that I think it's just the wording. It's like worded so weird. Because the way I'm reading it is you heal someone, and then when someone else heals you, if you use the perk, you become broken. So it's like, then what's the point of using it? But maybe there's something I'm not understanding. Like maybe I'm interpreting the meaning wrong. Shoulder the burden once per trial, as long as you are not on death hook. Press the ability button 2 in front of a hook survivor to unhook them. When they are unhooked, they lose 1 hook state, and you gain 1 hook state. You also scream and become exposed for 30, 25, 26. I mean, that's interesting, but like, I'm not a big fan. So far, I'm really not a big fan of this survivor's perks. Like, all 3 of them sound interesting, but like, Invocation Treacherous Crows, you get such a like, basically no reward for the drawback. Clean break, I don't even understand. And shoulder the burden just doesn't sound super helpful. Like, I kind of get it, but I don't fully get it either. Like, I don't know. It might just be me, but so these are some of my. I'm not a big fan of the perks of art. The killer sounds really cool, but the perks, the survivor perks don't sound great. The killer perks actually sound pretty cool. I would say so far I'm more excited for the new killer than the new survivor. Definitely the new killer perks over the new survivor perks. I'm not a big fan of those. A new map. A new map on the other side of Mount Ormond is here for testing on the PTB only. Explore the Ormond Lake Mine. This map will not be part of the chapter release. Okay, well, I still think that's a little weird, but it'll be interesting to see the new map, that's for sure. Features Survivor Activity HUD improvements. All activities will now surface their progress on the activity HUD. Previously, it was just generators and recovery. A new activity was created to differentiate when a survivor is mending or healing themselves. A new activity was created to differentiate when a survivor is blessing a tome. Some killer power interactions which were previously missing are now included on the activity hub. Interesting. So now you'll see like progress is instead of gens and recovery. So now everything will give progress. That's really cool. I kind of like that. I like how they updated the HUD. That'll be really cool to see. Perks HUD improvement. Visual differentiation between a perk being temporarily unavailable from being disabled completely. First time implementation for new invocation perk. Characters bio pages. Re-added power and perks previews on bio pages. I guess I forgot that they got rid of that there, but that's cool. I'm assuming they people wanted it back there or something, or maybe they felt like it'd be better over there. I don't know. Store featured page main carousel can also display bundles. Featured page bundle widget is now a carousel that shows bundles in collections. Killer updates. The Dark Lord base kit increase Shapeshift cooldown to 3.5 seconds was 2.5 seconds, so it takes longer, so that's a little nerf, so that's fun. Vampire form increases Hellfire cooldown to 10 seconds was 7 seconds, so that's a little buff, or nerf, I mean. Wolf form increased the spawn rate of sent orbs to 1 every 5 seconds, was 1 every 6 seconds, so that's a little buff. Wolf form decreased Wolf's pounce charge time to 0.85 seconds was 1. So they buffed the wolf form a little bit. The vampire form got a little nerf, and then the increased shapeshift cooldown, and then the cooldown got a little nerf. The Demogorgon base kit decreased portal setting time to 0.85 seconds was 1 second, so that's a little buff. Decreased portal entry time to 1.35 seconds was 1.5 seconds, so that's a little buff. Increase upside down travel speed to 28 meters a second was 20. So Demogorgon got little some little buffs. That's nice. And they touch Demogorgon's add-ons as well, or at least some of them. So that's pretty cool. Vicious webbing increases the sealing time of portals by 10% with 16%. So that got nerfed. Thorny vines increases the area of effect of activity portals by 1 meter. Increases the sealing time of portals by 8% was 11%. It kind of sounds like that Thorny Vines got a nerf, or a buff. Could be wrong though. But Vicious Webbing, just that's a nerf. Upside Down Resin increases the sealing time of portal or portals. I think they meant off portals by 20% with 28%. So that's so that got a little nerf. Lifeguard Whistle reveals survivors near portals without charging at the abyss removed. Increases the number of portals by 2 new, and then that perk basically got a little rework. Kind of. The Ghostface base kit decreased Night Shrouds cooldown to 17 seconds was 20. Decreased the time to mark survivors to 4.5 seconds was 5 seconds. So they buffed him a little bit. So that's good. The Ghostface add-ons Philly decreased the marked time. Decreased the time to mark survivors by 10% with 20%, so that got a little nerf, but they made some of that base kit, so it makes sense. Walleyes Matchbook decreased recovery, Night Shroud's recovery time by 3 seconds with 6 seconds, so that got a little nerf. The Good Guys base kit decreased the scamper time to 1 second was 1.3. Increased Heidi Ho mode's cooldown to 12 seconds was 10. So, you know, that's pretty good. The Good Guys add-ons, Rat Poison, decreased range to 6 meters was 12, so that got nerfed. Decreased duration to 2.5 seconds was 5, so that got nerfed. But I believe I think some of that got made base kit, so that's fine. So that's kind of why. The Lich base kit decreased Dispelling Sphere's cooldown to 35 seconds was 38. So that got a little buff. Decreased Flight of the Damned's cooldown to 35 seconds was 38, so that got a little buff. Decreased Flight's cooldown to 25 seconds was 38, so that got a little buff. Increased Mage Hand's cooldown to 40 seconds was 38. So that technically got nerfed because it takes longer now for it on its cooldown. Increased the cooldown after canceling a spell to 1.25 seconds was 1 second, so that's a little nerf. Decreased the time Dispelling Fear disables magic items to 45 seconds was 60 seconds, so that got nerfed as well. The Lich add-ons, Pearl of Power, decreases the cooldown of all spells by 3 seconds after a successful basic attack was 5, so that's a little nerf. Ring of Spell Storing decreases the cooldown of all spells by 2 seconds was 4, so that's a little nerf. The Mastermind base kit decreased Virulent Balance cooldown to 5.5 seconds was 6 seconds, so that's a little buff. The Mastermind's add-ons, Letter Glove, decreases Virulent Balance cooldown by 8% was 10%, so that's a little buff, or nerf, I mean. The Shape base kit, this was kind of the killer I was really excited to see other than the new one. Increased Evil Within 1 movement speed to 4.4 meters a second was 4.2 meters a second, so that's a huge buff for Evil Within 1. Increased maximum stock per survivor to 20 points was 10, so that's a nice little buff. Decreased the amount of Evil Within required to reach Evil Within 2 to 3 was 5, so that's huge. Increased the Evil Within game multiplier when stalking from afar to 1 was 0.1, so that's huge. Decrease the evil within gain multiplier when stocking up from up close to 0.4 was 1. So honestly, they kind of bit. Michael got some huge buffs, and not only that, they kind of put more emphasis on stalking from afar, which is cool. His base kit doesn't sound too bad, honestly. The shape add-ons, fragrant tuft of hair, increased the evil is in free requirements to 20 was 10. Oh god. So that's a huge nerf. Lock of hair. I forget if fragment tuft of hair or lock of hair is the I'm assuming it's fragrant tuft of hair is the that kind of sucks though, because there's an achievement that's really hard to get, and as I'm just kind of looking at these, it sounds like they just made it harder because what I'm kind of reading here is that they increased some of that. Obviously, Michael himself, like base kit wise, got some nice buffs, so that should help with the achievement. Me and Orange are planning on or trying to prepare for that achievement, but I'm hoping that we can get it someday, but it sounds like they made it harder, so that sucks. Lock of hair decreased the evils and free requirement to 50% was 100%. Judas Tombstone increased the evils and free requirement to 20 was 10. Tombstone Peace increased the evils and free requirement to 15 was 7.5. Scratch Mirror decreased the evils and 1 movement speed to 4.2 meters a second, and that's new. Killer perk updates. Dominance, the first time each totem in each chest is interacted with by a survivor. That totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 8, 12, 16 seconds. Was 4, 6, 8, so that's a nice little buff. Human Greed, you see unopened chests auras and survivor auras are revealed for 3 seconds, and that's free for all rarities. When they enter a 8-meter range, again, 8 meters is the same across all rarities. You also gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has a 30, 25, 20 second cooldown, was 60, 45, 30 seconds, so that's a nice buff. Languid Touch. When a survivor is in 36 meters of you scares a crow, they gain the exhausted status effect for 6 to 10 seconds. This perk has a 5-second cooldown with 20. And we have attunement. When any item becomes depleted for the first time each match, it is dropped. You see the auras of dropped items. Survivors within 8 meters of dropped items have their auras revealed to you was 12 seconds. Oh, it was 12 meters. So you have to be closer now for that, so that sucks. Affected survivors see the item's aura, new. When a survivor picks up a survivor item, they suffer the oblivious status effect for 20, 25, 30 seconds. Survivor updates, general, decrease the time it takes to unlock chests to 8 seconds. Was I guess it used to be 10, so that's cool. Survivor perk updates, ace in the hole. When retrieving an item from a chest, there's a 100% chance that the ultra rare or lower add-on will be attached to it. Was very rare or lower. 50, 75, 100% chance of finding an add-on of uncommon rarity or lower was 10, 25, 50%. When escaping, keep any add-ons your item has. Buckle Up, updated the perk's description for clarity. Invocation Weaving Spiders, description was updated to match the new invocation Treacherous Grows, but no gameplay change otherwise. Pharmacy, when injured, pharmacy activates, removed. Unlocking chests is 70, 85, 100% faster, was 40, 68% faster. The hearing distance for noises from unlocking chests are reduced by 20 meters, was 8 meters. Pharmacy guarantees an emergency medkit upon completing the interaction. Plunderer's Instinct, the auras of unopened chests and items in the environment are revealed to you when standing within a 32, 48, 64 meters range with 16, 24, 32 meters. Increases the odds of finding higher rarity items for chests by 50%, was 14, 24, 46%. Scene Partner activates when you are in the killer's terror radius. Whenever you look at the killer, scream, then see the killer's aura for 4, 5, 6 seconds. 3, 4, 5 seconds. There is a chance you will scream again. If you do, you'll see the killer's aura for an additional 2 seconds. Scene partner then goes on cooldown for 40 seconds with 60 seconds. Bug fixes, bots, improved survivor bot locomotion. Environment / maps, fixed missing cracks during the endgame collapse, fixed floating assets on multiple maps, fixed brief bright light when returning to the main menu from the store, fixed sudden brief bursts of bright light when viewing a Mori, fixed occurrences of exit tiles not matching fiend maps, fixed a visible seam at the exit gates on Ormond Lake Mine, fixed pools of blood that failed to appear in multiple places on the Ormond Lake Mine. Fix missing textures on multiple tiles of the Ormond Lake Mine. I love how they already, like, when they made the PTB, like, changes and all that, you know, for the PTB, like, kind of explaining, like, what's happening in PTB, they already had to fix the new map. That's kind of funny. Fix a clipping issue, the bridge in Ormond Lake Mine. Fixed collision issues on tunnel stairs, tower scaffold ground, and tower tile collision on Ormond Lake Mine. Reworked complex collisions, preventing killer projectile to pass through on the top floor of the Ormond Lake Mine building. Fixed issues of camera fade exclusion for the Mori updates feature. Fixing the issue in Larry's hospital where the killer could not grab a survivor from one side of a generator. Fixing the issue whereas collision on Ironworks of Misery. Fixing the issue was collision on the underground complex. Fixing the issue was collision on the Nostromo wreckage. Perks, fixed an issue that caused the hex for the hunt interaction speed values to be incorrect if cleansed before a hex undying. Fixed an issue that caused the Deathbound perk not to be disabled when grabbed by the killer. Fixed an issue that caused Hex Devour Hope to gain a token when he self unhooks with the Deliverance perk. UI fixed an issue with where cinematics can be skipped by L stick or R stick on the controller. Okay, quest using the virtual keyboard. Fixed an issue where the beginner tooltip text can be seen overflowing in certain languages. Fix an issue where the prestige button's progress bar isn't reacting accordingly to the blood points balance. Fix a crash that could occur when equipping and unequipping the banner and badge. Fix an issue where the survivor action icon on the player status is missing after spectating the killer in the custom game. Fix an issue where the blood splatter effect on the player status is missing in various states. Fix an issue where unnecessary lines appear when opening the event pop-up. Miscellaneous, fix an issue where platform exclusive outfits cannot be seen by other platform players. I don't really know what that means, so interesting. Fix an issue that caused Astray, Yazar, Lara Croft, Trevor Belmont, the Lich, and the Dark Lord prestige outfits unlock in wrong order. The Wraith is now correctly able to move and attack after doing certain actions when using the Serpent Suit add-on. Fix an issue that caused killers to be able to spam the Mori interaction. Known issues, the Houndmaster, the collision on the Houndmaster's dog prevents the killer from being blinded by flashlights. The Houndmaster's dog visually does not always complete the jump over vault animation, but still continues the path. The search path can appear above the ground when search command sends the dog to a different elevation. While running on the search path, the Houndmaster very rarely does not earn the movement speed bonus. Survivors performing the grab rescue interaction on another survivor will play the corresponding animation after rescued survivor is freed from the dog instead of during the ongoing interaction. Survivors involved in a grab display the broken status effect symbol instead of the incapacitated status effect symbol. The Hellmaster is missing her dog during the match result screen. The Hellmaster's dog position is desynced with the survivor during the warrior when performing multiple actions. Frequently, the clean break perk does not trigger while being killed by another survivor that also has the clean break perk. The Nightmare and the Skull Merchant are disabled for the course of this PTB. I don't know why they would be, but that's weird. Anyway, so final thoughts. It sounds interesting. quite a bit of thick problems already with this PTB. It's kind of been a while since we've had a PTB with so many problems in some ways. The new killer sounds really interesting. I really like the Michael changes and some of the other changes. The new survivor perks are probably some of my least favorite in the entire game. I just don't like how little reward there is with his invocation for that massive drawback of always being one-shottable. And then I wasn't a big fan of the perk with the crow. That just sound or no, that was the same perk. Hold up. I think it's interesting that Michael or Freddy and the Skull Merchant are still disabled. I'm very excited to see the Survivor perk updates because those sounded pretty nice. The Killer perk updates sounded really nice as well. A lot of buffs. Wesker got a nice little change, so that's nice. Same with Vecna, he got a nice change. Chucky got a nice little change. Ghostface, I liked his change a lot. Demogorgon sounded pretty good as well. Dracula sounded pretty nice. A lot of the stuff sounded really cool. I'm very excited for the Survivor Activity HUD improvements. I'm very excited to see those. The new map sounds really interesting. Shoulder of the Burden, that's what it was. Shoulder of the Burden is a perk that I kind of get it, but I don't like how you have to... I don't like how you're putting your teammate more at risk when you have that perk. Does that make sense? Because it says that as long as you are not, like, on deathlock, so dead, or, like, you know, about to die, I guess, you can unhook a survive when you unhook someone that, like, transfers, and I'm just not a big fan of that. I don't really like the idea of now I am kind of screwing my teammate over for virtually no reason. Clean break, I still don't really understand, and the way I'm reading it, it doesn't sound, like, good at all, but I'm probably just reading it wrong, so I'm not trying to, like, harp up on that. And then his invocation's probably my least favorite, because at least with, Sables helps with gens. His basically does nothing. So that's fun. The new killer sounded really cool, as I've already said, and I kind of liked the Houndmaster's perks. All Shaking Thunder sounds really interesting. Of after you fall from like a height, now your launch attack distance is increased for a little bit. The quarter sounds interesting because when someone reaches like a certain amount of self heal progress, you now just keep giving them skill checks. That perk is really gonna screw with me as someone who sucks mega ass against Merciless Storm, which is kind of the same thing but doing gens. So I already know that I'm basically gonna be dog shit when that if someone has that perk. That's one. And unlike Merciless Storm, I can't like f up. I can't mess up on it. And now you know, the perk is like done. It's over. No, instead I get broken for a while, so that's fun. And then Jagged Compass sounds really interesting as well. The fact that if someone gets unhooked from a non-scourge hook, it becomes a scourge hook. And then when you do hook someone on a scourge hook, the fact that you can see the gem with the most progress is kind of nice as well, so you can kind of book it there to damage it and potentially find some survivors. So overall, it sounds really nice. I'm just not a big fan of the survivor perks, I would say. That's probably my least favorite thing about the whole thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell. Do all the aggraphic garbage. It helps us out a lot, and it means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.